The In Conversation podcast series with author Nigel Beckles.
Welcome to the podcast.
Get ready for takeoff.
Welcome back to my In Conversation podcast series. In this episode, I discuss strategies and advice for writers wondering about the best way to become a published author with editor Denise Roberts. So, do editors also assist in authors in getting their work published? Is it just purely an editing service?
Editor doesn't really help a person to get published in a practical way. I mean, they do in a sense because they prepare the manuscript for publishing. So they're the ones that will make sure that the manuscript is professional standards, that it's well structured, that the message is clear, that it has no spelling mistakes, grammatical mistakes, no ambiguities. So the editor is the person that will help to prepare the manuscript in that sense. But they don't always directly help the author to publish the manuscript. But the service that I do is proofreading, editing, publishing support services. So I will help an author to get published, and by kind of like guiding them along the route as to the best option for them. So I do work with authors that are looking, say, for example, to go down the traditional route. They want to find a traditional publisher, and I will help them with getting a book proposal together, helping them to research and to write and structure their book proposal, and so that they can approach the traditional publishing house. If the person wants to self-publish, then I will help them through the process of getting the book published through those channels. And then there is another kind of route that people have, which is what I call the hybrid. I wouldn't even say I call it. It is called that. Hybrid publisher or partnership publisher or contract publisher. And they are publishing houses, but they are not set up like the traditional publisher, because you still have to pay them to publish your book. So that if a person wants to go down that route, I can still help them, kind of like direct them in that direction.
When I was conducting research regarding editors for my first book, thankfully, who did I discover but Denise Roberts? And I have to say, I was very impressed with the services that you provided, because when you're a first time author, it's pretty daunting. It's like it's a journey, because there's a lot of things you don't realize. It's like when I actually had the book published, a few weeks later, I had a letter from a library, the Scottish Library, and basically the letter said, well, Nigel Beckles, you are obliged to supply 5 copies of your book to the library for free. I was like, oh, okay. So, well, that's obviously a cost you bear. And I suppose if you're going to go down the self-publishing route, which is what I done in the end, there are costs to be borne. I mean, even with the ISBN numbers, I didn't realise you had to buy them like in, stacks of 10, as it were. And there's other things that you just kind of discover as you go along. I mean, obviously, it's like everything else, though. The more you get into it, the more you learn.
Exactly. I think, that's the reason why you have people that offer. I mean, you have myself, somebody that offers a service like I do. I don't publish people's books. I don't publish books. I'm not a publisher, but I offer publishing support services for people that want to self-publish. So, and that's the reason why, because it can be really confusing trying to navigate your way around the publishing environment. There are things changing all the time. I mean, for example, if you want to publish a book and you want to get the book on Amazon, or you want to get the book into a bookshop, and you want to get a Kindle version of the book, that can be quite a minefield to kind of like, guide yourself through, because if you publish your book on Amazon, then you can't get your book into the bookstores. Lots of people don't kind of like realize that. So you have to find sometimes you have to use more than one route then. Got Ingram Spark, and so it's probably a better idea for you to publish your book through your print version of your book, through Ingram Spark, so that you can get access to the independent bookshops and the kind of distribution that Ingram Spark does, and to the wider kind of, wider range of outlets, and then to publish your Kindle version on Amazon. And of course, you can also put your print version for purchasing on Amazon as well. It can be feel a little bit complicated and overwhelming. But as you say, it gets easier as you go through the process. You learn and you discover what to do and what not to do.
Well, I want to pick up on something you said earlier. You said if your book goes on Amazon, then it's difficult to get it into a bookshop?
If you publish it through Amazon.
Oh, if you publish it through Amazon, okay.
Yeah. Not if you, because you can publish it anywhere. I mean, you don't even have to publish it through Ingram Spark. That's for the print-on-demand kind of route to publishing. But if you publish your book through Ingram Spark or through a kind of traditional route, where you use a printing company, a book printing company, then you can put your book for sale, upload your book, your details and everything for sale on Amazon. You can distribute copies of your book to Amazon warehouses so that they can fulfill the orders for you. But if you use Amazon as a publishing platform, an Amazon ISBN, which is a free ISBN number that Amazon will give to you, then you cannot get your book into the bookshops through that route.
So what would you recommend then?
A bit of both. Why? I mean, if the author wants their books to be available in the independent bookstores, if they want their books to be available in bookshops, then I would use Ingram Spark. If they want a print-on-demand service, Ingram Spark for the print version of the book, and then I would make that print version available on Amazon. Not Amazon as the publisher, but just make it available on Amazon for sale. And then I would publish the Kindle version through Amazon.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then even bearing that in mind as well, that there are other Kindle readers, ebook readers, other than the Amazon Kindle. And so if you want to make use of the other readers, then you, again, would be better off using Ingram Spark. Because Amazon is a platform, they're a world onto their own.
It seems to me that they have a captured market, and I assume they're dominant in the marketplace.
Absolutely, Nigel. And that's why a lot of bookshops don't like them. A lot of publishers and bookshops don't like them because Amazon has come in and they have creamed the market. I mean, Amazon cuts into the profit of your royalties, your book sales profit 60%.
Wow.
Thereabout. And so then the other 40% has to be shared between the author and the publisher and whoever else. They have really cut into the profit margin for publishing houses. And that's why they don't like them. There are lots of campaigns, especially the independent bookstores. They are small. They don't make a lot of money. I mean, a lot of these bookstore owners are in it for the love of the book. They love books. They love writing. Lots of them are writers themselves. And they are having a potential earnings, a profit from the books that you're selling taken away in such a large kind of percentage by Amazon. That's the first place people go to buy a book. Can kind of understand why they've got campaigns. There are, lots of little independent bookshops that have campaigns against Amazon. They just don't like them.
So what would you recommend then?
If the author wants their books to be available in the independent bookstores, if they want their books to be available in bookshops then I would use Ingram Spark. If they want a print-on-demand service, Ingram Spark for the print version of the book, and then I would make that print version available on Amazon. Not Amazon as the publisher, but just make it available on Amazon for sale. And then I would publish the Kindle version through Amazon.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then even bearing that in mind as well, that there are other Kindle readers, ebook readers, other than the Amazon Kindle. And so if you want to make use of the other readers, then you, again, would be better off using Ingram Spark.
Oh, yeah, because I was reading up, doing some research, as I do, and I noticed that you are a book strategist. So what does a book strategist do? Is it like a overall kind of service for an author?
Yeah. Looking at the approach, looking at the planning, looking at the angle of the book, and helping people to find a unique, and you might say there is nothing unique about it, what can there be unique about a book, because there's practically every subject that we can write about has been written about. But of course, each person is unique. Each person has their own unique range of experiences, interests, their stories, their knowledge. And if you blend all of those together, then you usually will come out with something that is unique to that person. And so I help them to define that, to get clear on that, to try and find a unique and original angle to the topic that they're writing about. I'll help them to develop their writing, kind of improve their writing, provide them with feedback, give them tips, guidance on how they can develop that and bring out the kind of deeper potential of the book, that kind of thing, and structure, because I absolutely love structure. Love looking at different structures of books, and so that's the way that you organize the content, your approach to the content, and so I'll help them with that. I help to keep them accountable, motivated along the journey. I'll help them to work out the right publishing route for them. As I said, there are 3 routes that you can take, so I'll help them to work out which one's best for them, depending on what they want to get out of writing the book. They might want to write the book just because it's for legacy purposes, a labor of love. They might want to write the book to help to market their business. They want to write a book to move out of the business that they're in at the moment and build something new around that. So I work with them to kind of help them to come up with a book strategy that meets the aims and the objectives, the desires that they have.
So is there a preferred way to go about this then? So is it a case of the author is writing the book, and as they write, say they complete a chapter of the book, then they send that over to you and then they carry on with their project? Or do they just send you the draft completed all in one go and then you just get on with the editing process?
Sometimes we will work in that way where they send me a chapter as they finish it, as they complete it, and that's quite good for keeping them on track, setting milestones and meeting them. And then, I've got the chapter secure, they've sent me the chapter, we know that they've crossed that they've ticked that one off. So sometimes I work like that, and usually I will look at the first chapter and give some feedback on that, because that really sets the tone for the rest of the writing. I get a good idea of what they sound like, their voice, basically their skill level, how they're doing. So that gives me a good idea, and it's a good basis for having a kind of like initial conversation about their writing style and what they may need to look out for. But then after that, I even though I may collect the chapters, I don't really read them until the whole book is done. We'll go through it once they've completed all the chapters.
So how can people contact you?
The editorschair.com, online, the editorschair.com. They can contact me there. Of course, I'm on Facebook, Denise Roberts on Facebook, and Denise Roberts on LinkedIn. Pretty much look out for me in any of those places.
And you also have a Facebook group for writers, don't you?
I do. Yes, actually. Yes, I do. I have a Facebook group called Not Just the Book, and the aim is on helping people to write, helping them through the writing process. And, of course, at the other end, because it's not just a book, it's something, what they're writing is something that can really, that's something that really has the potential to change people's lives, to transform people's lives.
Well, thank you for that. It's been great talking to you. You have a wealth of knowledge. So, Denise, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Nigel. Thank you for having me.
Have you experienced several failed relationships or been through a divorce? How can you avoid making the same mistakes again? How to avoid making the big relationship mistakes is out now.
Hi, my name is Nigel Beckles. My new book is packed with practical and common sense strategies that you can use to make better relationship choices.
Now you can discover the dangerous myths about love. If your relationship expectations are realistic, why you could be falling in love for all the wrong reasons.
How to avoid making the big relationship mistakes. It's a book that could change your life.
Available from www.relationshipmistakesbook.com and amazon.co.uk. Kindle version also available.
Award-winning author Pamela R. Haynes. Her latest book, Loving the Brothers, is available from Amazon and all good bookstores now. Nominated in the Best Writer category by the BLAC Awards for 2020. Loving the Brothers by author Pamela R. Haynes. Order your copy of a fantastic book now.
Looking for Love is a documentary that explores black relationships in the UK, seeking answers to difficult questions, transforming the way we think about love and relationships.
50% of couples who marry this year will get divorced.
Looking for Love from the award-winning director Menelik Shabazz is finally available on DVD.
If I had been to a counsellor or been to a therapist, I would have dealt with a lot of those issues a lot quicker.
Get yours today from lookingforlovefilm.com.
Thank you for listening. Please join me for another In Conversations podcast very soon for more interesting and entertaining discussions. Stay safe.